I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. 4 years ago, all of us gathered together in a pep session as patriots for the first time, sharing in the excitement of the beginning of high school. Now, here we are, 4 years later, assembling together again for the last time in the afterglow of our accomplishments and memories. Today, we close this chapter of our lives and move on to the next exciting part, a part most of us are thrilled to write and create, the day of high school. Now, however, we are excited to become college students, trade students, become active in the military, or adopt some other career path. With a variety of successes from person to person, we have all had triumphs of some kind the past 4 years. Now, today, we are finally able to celebrate them all together as a class. With all of that being said, it is an honor today for me to welcome all friends, family, faculty, and most importantly, graduates, to the Terre Haute North Vigo High School's graduation ceremony for the class of 2020. My name is Zoe Huxford, and it has been a privilege for me to be a representative of this class and president of Student Council this past year. As I reflect on our senior year, the biggest recurring theme I find about our class is how motivated, encouraging, and energetic we are. Our class is a class of leaders. From senior leadership on sports teams to getting students fired up in the student section to serving as volunteers and mentors in classes and other school events. I say with great pride, our class has had a positive impact on North during our time here. Before our senior year, it was a struggle for students to get excited at times about being a patriot. Our school spirit was there, yet it was faint. However, during our senior year, we made it our mission to make the school a happier and more involved place to be. Thanks to our class's hard work, enthusiasm, and presence at nearly every school event, we helped encourage underclassmen to partake in the thrills of high school. Our class was able to pull off the first successful homecoming dances North has had in a long time, bring back the tradition of Mr. North to raise nearly $1,000 for the backpack program, and so much more. By supporting as much student-led activity as possible and being cheerleaders and champions for these events, we help spark a magnitude of school spirit at North we have never witnessed before our senior year. Unfortunately, our time of impact at North was cut short, but even with the time we did have, I am confident that we were able to impact our fellow students in a positive and uplifting manner. Class of 2020, when I think of all of us together, I am instantly reminded of everything we have endured these past few months. Never before has a group of high school seniors experienced what we have experienced. While before it may have been cliche to say, it simply rings true for us now. Our senior year is entirely unique from those who have come before us. We have suffered the loss of so much. However, that is only the immediate thing I think of when the class of 2020 is discussed. After that vote registers, I am then flooded by the memory and knowledge of all the ways our class has overcome the adversity we have unfairly been handed, and how we have made the best of our situation. In an unprecedented time in history, we have been angry and we have been devastated. We have been confused and we have felt lost. And yet through it all, we have still managed to finish our schooling, graduate together, stay connected to one another, and look brightly to the future ahead of us instead of wallowing in our past. We have overcome and we have conquered. I admire all of us for our resilience and would like to give one last parting advice as we celebrate together today and then venture off to our own lives. If we have learned anything from our senior year, it is that perspective is everything. No matter your age or your status or your position or situation, there is always going to be positives and negatives present. How we deal with these positives and negatives is our own perspective. Life will be hard and no one gets it easy, but by being a person that looks at the bright side of things instead of the darkness and keeps moving forward, you will find success and happiness. Grow, and then grow some more, and then grow yet again with each adversity you face. We have all grown so much this year, and that is something to truly be proud of and to celebrate. Thank you greatly to everyone gathered here today once again to witness the graduation of the Terre Haute North Vigo High School class of 2020. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we will now move on to the introduction of our 2 salutatorians and 7 valedictorians, all of which will be giving a speech of their own. So without further ado, our first salutatorian is Caroline Christ. Caroline is the daughter of Kevin and Beth Christ. Throughout high school, she danced at Academy of Dance, played piano, and played on the North tennis team. This year, she became a National Merit Scholar finalist in the class of 2020 salutatorian. This fall, she will attend St. Louis University to study chemistry.
idea for this speech, I thought back on these past 4 years. I realized that during the years we spent in high school, we learned so much more than just how to solve equations or identify a rhyme scheme. We learned how to connect with others and manage our time and put in hard work. These lessons are often found not only in the school building, but also in the extracurricular activities in which we choose to participate. Personally, I dance, and I've learned that many of the things important in dance are also important in life. So even though I know you are not all dancers, I thought I'd share with you some of the things dances do well. If you've ever seen a dancer do countless spins or turns in a row, you might have noticed that we keep our eye focused on one spot throughout the turns. Appropriately, that's called spot, and it helps us to keep us from becoming dizzy or falling down while our surroundings seem to spin around us. It turns out that spotting something is helpful in more than just turns. I've learned that whatever craziness our lives turn into, keeping an eye on something that helps you stay grounded allows you to remain fabulous. This spot could be someone in your family, a close friend, even a hobby that you love. While everything changes around you, especially this coming year, that one constant can keep you from falling down. Another thing I've learned from all my years of dancing is to use constructive criticism to make yourself better. I know having your flaws pointed out can sometimes feel painful, but constructive criticism is meant to be just that, constructive. We as dancers and people can grow by listening and acting on the observations of others. Often, others have a better view of your actions than you do. We must make a conscious effort to listen to each other and grow ourselves as a result. Next lesson, act confident, even if you don't feel it. The audience doesn't know your dance, outsiders don't know your journey in life. 9 times out of 10, people watching won't even notice when you mess up, as long as you pretend that's what you meant to do. If there's anything I've learned in these past 4 years, it's that acting confident in yourself can get you a lot farther than you think. If you look like you know what you're doing, everyone thinks you do. And chances are you probably know more than you think. Finally, dance has taught me to keep my eyes up and looking ahead of me. Staring at the floor doesn't get you anywhere when you're on stage or in line. We have to look forward, leaving our mistakes behind and focusing on improving the rest of the dance. I'm so proud of us all for finally completing this chapter of our lives. Wherever life takes us next, I know we can be the change we want to see in this world. I know we can take the countless lessons we've learned in our time here at Terre Haute North and use them in our next chapter. Thank you.
Now for our next salutatorian, Arja Amiri. Arja is the son of Rose and Dash Amiri. He plans on attending Rose Holman and majoring in optical engineering. In 2019, Arjun took 9th place in the Rose Holman math competition. He received an honorary award in statistical mathematics in the 2019 Regional Science Fair. Arjun took 1st place in the 2019 Rose Holman Teams Engineering competition. It is my pleasure to introduce Arja Amiri as one of our 2020 salutatorians.
Thank you, Nick. When I was first told I had to give this speech today, I wondered, man, what in the world am I going to talk about? Now, standing on stage ready to deliver it, I'm wondering, man, what in the world am I going to talk about? Regardless, we're all here today after 4 subjectively long years at this school to graduate together. We can look to our lefts and we can look to our rights to see the people we shared our experiences with. It's not about the destination, but it's the journey that defines the adventure. I know for certain that the people I've met along the way are irreplaceable and that these bonds we formed are significant in their own regard. As our beloved Uncle Ira once said, while it is always best to believe in oneself, a little help from others can be a great blessing. To be able to forge ahead on your own is important, but to be able to turn towards someone when you need them is uplifting. Whether it be a friend, a companion, or a brother, it's always reassuring to have someone meaningful to you close to your heart. If you fail to take away anything else from this speech, just remember, Pixar Pixar's Cars 1 was so wildly successful that they entirely skipped the production of Cars 2 and made Cars 3 immediately after. But seriously, I love you guys. I wouldn't trade any of you for the world. Thank you.
Just a second, we're struggling with the pages up here a little bit. Our first valedictorian is Macy Decker. Macy is the daughter of Mike and Linda Decker. In addition to maintaining a 4.0 grade point average at Terre Haute North, she also earned straight A's throughout her entire 12 years of primary and secondary education in the Vigo County School Corporation. At Terre Haute North, Macy was a member of the National Honor Society and the Athletic Student Council. Macy also swam all 4 years on the varsity swim team and earned varsity letters twice for unified track. Macy will be continuing her education this fall at IUPUI, where she was accepted to the IUPUI Honors College and received the Chancellor's Scholarship and a School of Science Dean's Scholarship. Macy was directly admitted to the IUPUI Purdue School of Science and will be pursuing a biochemistry major and neuroscience minor at IUPUI as she prepares for medical school. It is my pleasure to introduce Macy Decker as one of our 2020 valedictorians. Thank you, Zoe.
Hello, Terre Haute North graduating class of 2020. I am so honored to be standing before you today, and I've spent a great deal of time trying to determine what the past 4 years at Terre Haute North have truly taught me. Now, of course, we've all taken the math, science, and the history classes, and have gained so much knowledge over not just the past 4 years of high school, but throughout our entire academic careers. We've learned how to read and write, add and subtract, and of course, that the mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell. Whether you realize it or not, the classes we've taken have taught us so much more than this. Today, I'd like to share some of the important life lessons that I have learned through many classes I've taken. The typical day at Terre Haute North consists of 5 70-minute class periods, allowing for each student to study 5 different subjects each day. For me, my school day started with first hour AP chemistry, undeniably one of the hardest classes I've ever taken. I learned so much about the different classes of chemistry, but this class also taught me that the most difficult journeys also have the most rewarding views. Challenging myself with such a demanding class allowed me to realize what I was truly capable of and pushed me to be my best. For most of my time at North, my second hour class was Latin. When beginning this course, I wouldn't have considered foreign language to be one of my strong suits, and didn't necessarily find myself intrigued by linguistics. Despite this, my Latin teacher was so deeply passionate about the subject and had such a profound love for educating students on the language and its history that I quickly learned it's important to keep an open mind and that appreciation can be gained through another person's love. Now, I'm sure most students here are aware the most important class period is always third hour. For those parents out there, third hour is especially important because A, that's when we get to eat, and B, it's the longest class of the day, so you want to make sure you have a subject that you actually like. While digesting calculus right after lunch might not sound appealing to some, I actually really enjoyed this class. My AP calculus class taught me to not be soft. More specifically, to have honesty and integrity. I learned that it's important to not take the easy way out, even if given the opportunity to. Right after lunch, I would go to my AP biology class, and as you're surely expecting, this class also taught me a not so obvious at the time life lesson. AP Bio taught me that sometimes you just need to let loose and dance it out. We'd often discuss very complex biological systems, which can get very overwhelming very quickly. One of the ways we would try and better understand these systems was to turn them into some sort of dance. Through doing this, I learned that it's important to work hard, but also to have fun while doing so. Finally, fifth hour, the last class of the day. During one of many trimesters I took at Terre Haute North, I took a ceramics class. In just one short trimester, I learned so many valuable lessons. This class taught me that life is malleable, and not everything is set in stone. I also learned that not everything goes according to plan, and that it's important to be able to adapt to whatever life might throw your way. As you can see, we have all been taught so many valuable life lessons during our time at Terre Haute North. I hope that as you go on to college, or whatever the future may hold for you, you take what you've learned and go on to do something great. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2020.
Our next valedictorian is Caleb Funk. Caleb was a 3-year varsity soccer player, getting elected captain while also receiving the gold medal award during his senior year. He competed in the Quiz Bowl team for German state contest for 3 years. He was also in the National Honor Society since his junior year. Caleb will be attending the University of Chicago as a presidential scholar in September. It is my pleasure to introduce Caleb Funk as one of our 2020 valedictorians.
I would like to start off by simply saying thank you to all the teachers, parents, and mentors that have helped us reach this moment. Without your help, not a single one of us would be here today. For 12 years, our teachers have been by our side, putting in countless hours of effort to ensure that we receive the best form of education we possibly could. We as students are very lucky to have access to teachers that treated us with such patience and tolerance. Unfortunately, we are not always the perfect students that we know we are. No matter how many assignments we turned in late, no matter how many days of school we missed, no matter how many times we forgot our assignment in our locker, we were supported. Through thick and thin, our teachers, parents, and mentors have been by our side encouraging us. We cannot have done it without you all, and for that, I say thank you. Over the past 4 years, I've certainly gained an immense amount of knowledge. From learning to decipher the intricacies of a Shakespearean sonnet to defining the quantum numbers of an electron, my overall intelligence has indubitably grown. However, with all of my studying and learning, this material was hardly the most important thing I learned at my time at Terre Haute North. Sure, learning this material, being able to complete homework assignments, and do well on tests allowed me to be successful enough to stand on this stage and deliver this fantastic speech. But that's not what I really take away from this experience. One of the things I learned was that hard work will truly take you far. Yes, I know, everyone's heard this a million times, but it still holds true. You don't have to be the smartest, most athletic, or most skilled to be the best in whatever you want to do. Almost everything you are going to want in life, you will have to work for. And if you work hard enough for it, there will be a change. One of my favorite quotes comes from Mr. Foster. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Another piece of wisdom I picked up was that it helps to take a step back every once in a while. I know personally I wish I had told myself this years ago. It's easy to get caught up in work, stress, and the overall busyness of life. Don't forget to stop, take a second, and live in the moment. While I recommend taking a step back every once in a while, it's just as easy to get caught taking entirely too many steps back. In order to be successful, you must attain a healthy balance between work and play. I found this to be difficult yet essential. However, the most important skill I acquired from high school was to keep an open mind and accept the fact that you're not always right, no matter how many times you swear you are. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. These are two concrete, never-changing facts. For some reason, as time has gone on, we have seemed to move towards a society in which sometimes your wrong fact is more of an opinion. Being able to accept the fact that you're wrong is vital in trying to move forward with anything. Open your mind to new ideas and possibilities. Doing this gives you the ability to compromise, a sorely needed skill in today's world. These simple skills that I acquired after 4 years of high school were the keys to my success in the past, while simultaneously preparing me for the quickly approaching difficulties of the future. In just a few months' time, all of our lives will be changed or changing dramatically. Some of us will be off to college or trade school. Some of us will be entering the military and beginning training. Some of us will be working or will be entering the workforce, and some of us will be headed down several and other career paths. All in all, life is switching up on us. But change is not a bad thing. Change can most certainly be scary, intimidating and frightening, but it can also be uplifting, renewing, and satisfying. Now, I won't stand up here and pretend like I'm not scared of the change that will be upon me in a few months, because I am. Even after telling you all that change should be feared, I'm still pretty nervous about this new life ahead of me. But as Paul Bettany said, a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts. These last 4 years have been exhilarating and full of excitement. Sure, the next couple of years might look to be a little daunting and mysterious, but it doesn't mean it won't be just as exciting as the last one. So to my impressive class of 2020, embrace the unknown. No one ever grew as a person by running away every time life got a little tricky, or staying within his or her comfort zone. Reach out and try new things. I wish I could promise that this road we're about to travel on is smooth and peaceful and straightforward, but then I'd be a liar. We will slip, we will stumble, we will make mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. Get back up every time you take a fall. Keep moving forward, and as Mr. Wren has taught me, don't be soft. Ralph Waldo Emerson stated, "It's not the destination, it's the journey." We have reached our destination, but our journey to this point was, to say the least, one of a kind. We started off with a fake but convincingly real code red, and ended at home due to a nationwide pandemic. I think we can confidently say that our class has had a journey like no other. I wouldn't want to share our journey with any other class. Don't fear the future, and as my dear friend Nate Egan says to me, doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Congratulations, class 2020.
Our next valedictorian is Juan Granieri. Juan is the son of Sergio and Cecilia Granieri. Juan One has played soccer at North the last 4 years. Recipient of the AP Scholar Award, one also placed gold in the National Spanish exam. He is going to be attending Notre Dame this fall and majoring in physics. It is my pleasure at this time to introduce Juan Granieri as one of our 2020 valedictorians.
Hello and congratulations, class of 2020. Again, before beginning, I'd like to mention how thankful I am that we're even having this, and to the administration for setting this up and letting me talk in front of you all. Especially Mr. Joseph, who's the only guy who can make 8-10 announcements interesting. No offense, so. Teachers, from myself, and I feel safe to extend this to our class as well, thank you. Over the last 4 years, you've helped force me to adapt and struggle, and to accept that this is how one grows, both academically and as a person. Whether it be learning calculus, learning about the men who made America, or just talking with teachers after class, I can say with absolute confidence that I've taken something away from every teacher, and they have prepared me for what's to come. And a quote from Socrates is that education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. I feel like at Terre Haute North, the teachers are good at starting that flame and that love for knowledge. I'd also like to give a quick thanks to my parents, especially mine. Thanks. And an honorable mention to my sister. Now for the fun part. So class of 2020, it's finally over. Even though it's felt over for a while, now today we get to finish it all up. Many of us have been together since elementary school or before, and some of us might not even know each other. Regardless, over the last 4 years, or however long you might have been here, we have all experienced North together. Whether we had a class together, watching the hazing video, a fire drill, or that one time the police dogs came in and did tricks for us, like freshmen years. One of my favorite things about North is probably the kind of feeling that it has, just kind of the energy it has that occurs naturally when you have 1,000 teenagers in one building. I'm not sure how to describe it, so let's give some examples. So people are kind of just like running through the hallway, or like screaming, or eating Bosco sticks at lunch with your friends, or seeing an empty table at lunch and everyone's sitting on the floor next to it, not on it, or Mr. Cook telling me that he could build an atomic bomb but does not feel motivated to do so. These are just some things that help make North not just a great place to learn, but an interesting place to be and to be with friends. And I have 2 pieces of advice to leave you off with. My first is a quote from John F. Kennedy, to forgive your enemies, but never forget their names. And I'm going to ask something of you, and I really want to emphasize this, so please make sure that you do something you actually like in life. And I really mean that. No matter what you go through, or what you have to do or miss out on to do that thing, dedicating your life to something that you like is probably the most important thing that you can do for yourself and for others as well. If you like math, do math. If you like art, do art. If you like something and you aren't good, that's okay. Just do it as a hobby, but don't lose that thing. Because I promise you that living a life without that is harder than giving it up. And for example, when you go through life doing what you love, it's not really easy at all. Every choice has its consequences. For example, I have to do homework again. 2 weeks. But no choice, even the best choice, is without its downsides. No matter how hard it gets, I promise you that doing what you love will always be worth it. And if things ever seem to hit rock bottom, just remember, at least you went to Terre Haute North, not South. My best wishes to all of you, and see you at the reunion.
Our next valedictorian is Emma Holder. Emma is the daughter of Matthew and Jackie Holder. Emma swam and ran cross country for Terre Haute North for 4 years, earned the summa cum laude in the National Latin exam, and presented at the State Science Fair. In the fall, Emma will be attending Purdue and majoring in biochemistry. It is my pleasure to introduce Emma Holder as one of our 2020 valedictorians.
Thank you, Nick. I would like to start out by saying how thankful I am that we even get to be here today in the midst of a pandemic to celebrate all of our hard work for the last 4 years. And when we walk off this field in a few short hours, even though we're all spreading our wings, going our separate ways, there is one thing that we will all be facing in our lives: change. If there is one thing I know about myself, and that some of you may also feel, is that I am scared of change.
I recently bleached my hair blonde, and as you may notice, it is now dyed the natural brown again. I always order the same thing at restaurants. I've never rearranged the furniture in my room, and I have been using the same chocolate chip cookie recipe since 2nd grade. So when I think of how everything around me is changing, I get a little nervous because I like things how they are now. Why would I want to go to college? I was just getting used to all this high school stuff, and I was pretty good at it too. But a lesson from biology comes to mind that may be a little comforting. The metamorphosis of a caterpillar into a butterfly. As the caterpillar matures, there comes a day when their instinct tells them to start spinning silk and form a chrysalis. They do this blindly, not knowing what will happen to them when they emerge. Similar to the caterpillars, we have been building our chrysalis for 4 years. And yes, the transition may be uncomfortable as we move away from home to college, start a new job, or join the military. But once our wings are dry, we'll have the power to fly with confidence and ease. So as we move into our next phase in life, embrace change with an open mind, because what life has in store is more beautiful and freeing than you could ever imagine. As I wrap up my speech today, I'd like to thank my parents, all of our teachers, counselors, and everyone at home that helped us get to be here today, walking across the stage. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Our next valedictorian is Hayden Maddock. Hayden was a 4-year member of the varsity swim team and winner of the gold medal her senior year. She was also a member of the tennis team for 4 years. She competed on the Science Academic Super Bowl team her junior and senior year. Hayden was honored this spring as a 2020 Indiana Academic All-Star. She will also be attending Rose-Hulman this fall, studying computer science. It is my pleasure to introduce Hayden Maddock as one of our 2020 valedictorians.
Good afternoon to the class of 2020 and everyone that has come out to celebrate us. We appreciate you. I know that this weather is not exactly pleasant, so I will keep it short. I want to begin by thanking my mom and sister and all of the other parents and family members here today that have supported me and my classmates through these last 4 years. A special shout out goes to the swim moms for always having breakfast ready for us after early morning practices. We could not have done it without all of you. I would also like to thank the amazing faculty at Terre Haute North for not only putting up with us, but for also pushing us to be better in and out of the classroom. There are so many teachers that I would love to thank individually, but I will only mention a few now. I always found myself looking forward to physics with Mr. Cook, Mr. Utterback's econ and government classes, pre-calc and trig with Mr. Sutliff, and Mrs. Mann's Latin classes. Having that 1 hour that you know will put a smile on your face is very much appreciated on those rough days. Perhaps the greatest thing that North has given me was the opportunity to host a foreign exchange student. Hosting Marika was such an incredible experience, so I want to thank Frau and everyone else who helps make this exchange student program possible. I'm so happy to say that Marika will always be a part of our family, no matter how far apart we are now. Lastly, I want to thank the people that have made these last 4 years truly special, my classmates. I have been so lucky to find a group of friends that I know will be with me for the rest of my life, and I hope that the same can be said by all of you. I can't say that high school was the best time of my life, but I can say that it has given me the best friends of my life, and that is certainly enough for me. Thank you.
Our next valedictorian will be Elisa Simoni. While at Terre Haute North High School, Elisa Simoni was a varsity soccer player for 4 years. She was named Defensive MVP and awarded honorable mention to the Conference Indiana All-Conference team her senior year. She has received multiple gold medals at the state level of solo and ensemble for both oboe and piano. She received the William H. James Memorial Scholarship for Chemistry and the Tom McCarthy Memorial Scholarship for Music. She plans to attend Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology in the fall and double major in engineering, physics, and electrical engineering. It is my pleasure to introduce Elisa Simoni as one of our 2020 valedictorians.
Hello, seniors. I wish I could stand up here and give you guys all the answers needed to succeed in life. However, each and every person defines success in a different way, so there is no one universal truth. Additionally, becoming better people as we struggle through mistakes and hardships is part of what gives meaning to life. So, to hopefully help with what is to come, I will share with you some personal reflections concerning this event. Today, we face a pivotal moment in time, a transition from high school to adulthood. But how can we describe this transition we face today? Just as we are not the same people who we were 5 years ago, we will not be the same people 5 years in the future. Graduation is a celebration of both how far we have come and the long, winding road full of mysteries we have yet to discover. When you line up all the ceremonies and screenshots of life, you start to become aware of how the celebrated transitions, such as graduation, and the unnoticeable transitions, such as a change in mindset, can carry you to the place you are today. Big or small, exciting or challenging, transitions are an essential part of human growth. These are only the internal changes. Transitions around us are equally as important. Before, we were limited in choices and actions. We were under the authority of teachers, parents, and guardians who set guidelines for us in our best interest. Once we enter the real world, these guidelines will disappear, freeing us to live up to our imaginations. The once strict guiding hands created to keep children in line will transform into voices of friends and family speaking to us as fellow adults. As our society begins to see us as adults, we gain responsibilities and the ability to impact others around us. For instance, we are now seen as intellectual enough to influence the future of the nation through the ballot. Men and women can now sacrifice themselves by serving our country in the military. We should strive to remember our potential and real influence as we make our choices. As for the future, be warned. 18 is the given societal age we are expected to become independent. This transition in our life is somewhat forced upon us. As we age, we must make the decision to continue transitioning into better people, improving our ideals and adapting to the world around us. Many people abandon dreams and refuse to adapt out of fear of the unknown or because it is easier to live a life of routine. Never let yourselves become satiated with what the world has given you. Continue to soak everything in. When we choose our path, we decide not only which doors to open, but which doors are available to us in the first place. And as we face these doors, we must maintain the bravery to peek into them rather than deceiving ourselves into never giving them a chance. Henry David Thoreau once stated, "I want to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life." Never forget this as we continue to grow as only humanity can. I'd be remiss if I didn't take a moment to thank my parents for always supporting me. Thank you, teachers, for using your knowledge to open my eyes to a new view of the world. Lastly, thanks to my fellow students for offering a helping hand when I needed it most. Congratulations, class of 2022. We did it.
Our next and final valedictorian is Spencer Spinny T. Templeton. Spencer moved to Terre Haute in 2016, just in time to become a Terre Haute North Patriot. During his time here, he has been a 4-year varsity swim team member, serving as co-captain his senior year, academic all-conference, and recipient of both the Most Improved and Mental Attitude Award. Spencer has been an active member of the National Honor Society, as well as Ski Club. During all his experiences at Terre Haute North, he says he will remember most is the community. Spencer will attend Purdue University in the fall to study engineering.
It is my pleasure to introduce Spencer Templeton as our final 2020 valedictorian.
Hello. I'll keep it brief because it's very, very hot, and I'm sure after all the 8 speeches before me, I probably not missed much. Good morning, and congratulations to the rest of the class of 2020. Today has been a really long time coming, and we finally made it. Now, before I begin, I want to thank everyone in the administration for letting us go through with this, even during a time of crisis where not many of us are allowed to get together and congregate and enjoy many of the things we used to. To all the teachers at Terre Haute North, you are all largely responsible for why I'm giving this speech. You all pushed me to my academic limits and to help me push back. You had me struggle and fail and ultimately grow both as a person and as an intellectual. While I can't say any of my classes were a walk in the park that caused me no grief or anxiety whatsoever, I can say that I've never enjoyed classes more than high school. An extremely very nerdy thing to say, I know. From calculus with Mr. N and the class discussions about what Pixar movie was the best. From English with Mr. Gibbons, where I don't think I've talked about breadsticks more in my entire life. From physics with Cook, where I will neither confirm nor deny a betting pool on how Tyler would distract the lecture that day. Each class offered both very hard and challenging work and unique experiences that I will remember and always treasure. And finally, for the rest of you guys, I'll be painfully honest. When I first moved from here from the Carolinas to start high school, I didn't really know how I'd fit in, and honestly, I didn't care to try. As time went by, and I met some more people at the suggestion, or really order, of my cousin Lizzie, I came to realize that the people of Terre Haute are some of the most genuine people I've had the privilege of knowing. When I opened my mind to a setting and community that was very foreign to me, I had no idea what I was about to gain, and I was not disappointed. This community has the most generous, genuine, and integrous, that's a real word, I looked it up, people I've ever known. And so for you guys for just being you, thank you. For my coaching team, thank you for giving me a home, even if it was cold, wet, and unforgiving. It taught me fortitude and provided friends and family for life. For the members of my class, thank you for giving me a place to fit in, to belong, a community so different yet so more extraordinary than the one I left behind. And despite the hardships we've shared this year and in the years past, I've never seen the culture thrive more, here or anywhere else. With that out of the way, as all of us move forward and on to new things, some very far from home, I just have one thing to say to you all. The last thing, I promise. Don't ever forget your roots here. As you move forward and grow, remember the people here and the values that they've taught you. As a well-known author and philosopher once said, a tree is magnificent because of its branches, but the branches give the tree the strength to grow and attain greatness. I know that you will all go on and do great things, each in your own special way. Congratulations to all of you. I wouldn't be rather alongside anywhere else. So that's all the time I've got. Juan, if you say that.
Class of 2020, you guys make me smile. You've done some great things in your time here. I'd like to start off by thanking you for your hard work in the classroom, on the playing surfaces, and in your community. Your class was led academically, not by one, not by two, not by three, but actually 7 valedictorians, and 2 salutatorians. Many of you took AP classes and excelled. You've earned college credit already. Competed in academic competitions. Competed in professional and vocational competitions. And earned the right to compete at the state level. Your class earned many scholarships. And when I say many, I'm talking many. Nice job. You also had an academic all-star among you. Good work. Your Air Force ROTC earned Distinguished Unit Award for the 5th year in a row, the Silver Star Community Service with Excellence Award, and for the 3rd year in a row. That last award is only earned by 5% of the units throughout the world. And all these things were accomplished due to the leadership of the seniors. Some of you have joined the military or plan on joining us soon. For those who chose to join the military, please rise at this time. Thank you for accepting the challenge of serving your country. It is greatly appreciated. You may be seated. All these accomplishments is nothing short of outstanding. On the playing surfaces, you competed with intensity. You displayed honor, determination, and sportsmanship in every competition. Your teams and individuals won rival trophies, competed at the sectional, regional, semi-state, and state level. Win or lose, you brought honor to your school by the way you conducted yourselves. Excellent. Performing arts was a pleasure to see. The band brought incredible school spirit to every event they were at. Our fall play was awesome to watch, and the orchestra was flawless every time I listened. These groups spent endless hours preparing and honing their craft to be the very best. It shows through the quality of their performances. And this was largely due to senior leadership again. Very intense. Your philanthropic projects benefit our community through volunteering and fundraising. Here are just a few of the organizations that you help. Backpack Program, Riley's Children's Hospital, Camp Navigate, Pink of Terre Haute, P.S. We Love You, and Patriots Supporting Patriots. Financially, items of need and time was given to support these great organizations. Because of your compassion for others, you raised thousands of dollars, hundreds of items that are needed, and provide countless volunteer hours. Actually, Terre Haute North had over 20,000 hours of community service. It was a major portion of those hours were driven by the senior class. Thank you. You have set a high bar for the students in the future. You will never be forgotten because of your determination, hard work, and compassion. Your patriot pride will remain in the halls of Terre Haute North, pushing others to be the very best. Well done, class of 2020. And now you know why you made me smile. Thank you. At this time, faculty and staff of Terre Haute North High School, please stand and remain standing. Superintendent Dr. Hayworth, Board President Mr. Irwin, and members of the Board of School Trustees. We have examined the academic records and for these outstanding students sitting before us and found they have completed all the requirements necessary to receive a diploma or a certificate of completion for Terre Haute North Vigo High School. Faculty and staff, you may be seated. At this time, I'm honored to introduce our superintendent, Dr. Rob Hayworth.
Principal Joseph, faculty, as superintendent on behalf of the Board of School Trustees, I hereby confer upon you your degree as high school graduates with all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining. Congratulations, class of 2020. You have graduated.
2020. We will now begin with the presentation of diplomas to our stage participants. Zoe Elizabeth Huxford. Nicholas Christopher Duncan. Spencer Augustus Limcaco. Jeffrey Brian Best II. Trevor Alexander Lay. Caroline Grace Christ. Argent Emiri. Macy B. Marie Decker. Caleb Jordan Funk. Juan Pablo Granieri. Emma Claire Holder. Hayden Jane Maddock. Elisa Victoria Simone. Spencer Thomas Templeton. At this time, graduates' names will be read by Class President Nicholas Duncan.
Morgan Nicole Adams. Rehan John Ahmed. Kyron Dell Alexander. Isabel Nicole Alger. Riker Cross Alley. Tony Lee Altwater Jr. Goodsum Amidi. Samuel Erickson Anders. Kaylee Nicole Anderson. Autumn Lowtree Appleton. Robert Eugene Arnett. Kaylee Ann Adderson. Charles Rainey Aubin. Kenneth Lamar Bacon. Zachary Demetrius Bates. Chrislyn Marie Bailey. Liam Michael Milatevich. Matthew Walter Banks. Bryson Thomas Barnes. Tyler Dean Barnett. Margaret Ann Barrett. Michelle Lynn Barrett. Taylor Ann Barrow. Kevin Jacob Beto. Jennifer Ann Binky. Ethan Lee Bell. Shaylin Virginia Ann Bell. Ahmad Rashad Binford. Emily Camille Beavis. Gavin Edward Bible. Reginald Daramas Villia. Lacey Rose Billiu. Ian Michael Bland. Mark Kendall Bland. Ryan Lee Lystone. Gabriella Renee Bonilla. Logan Andrew Boston. Anthony William Bovenshin. Jordan Christopher Bradley. Ethan Michael Branham. Thor Romy Brandt. Gabrielle Marie Brewer. Aubrey Noel Bridgewater. Lexi Ann Riley. Braden Malik Brookins. Abigail Nicole Brown. Delilah Renee Brown. Matthew Cole Brown. Tucker Brunsma. Courtney Lynn Bullard. Stephen Michael Bullock. Anna Grace Burpo. Skylar Faith Casciolo. Zachary Philip Caffey. Britton Lee Kane. Sydney Renee Campbell. William Anthony Carter IV. Alexis Mackenzie Caskey. Brooklyn Nicole Cherry. Ashlyn Nicole Chin. Grant Tyler Chrisman. Peter Edward Christ. Mackenzie Lee Church. Roman Anthony Cintron. Vanessa Mackenzie Clay. Allie Marie Cockrell. Gage Michael Cohen Cook. Bethany Noel Collinball. Aaron Allen Collins. Simon Anthony Collins. Jacelyn Joe Kahn. Braden Lloyd Cooley. Ty Allen Cruz. Jared Clayton Cuffle. Avery Noel Cunningham. Zoe Elise Cunningham. Caroline May Davies. Dylan Michael Deal. Malachi Michael Devers. Ethan Edward Denbo. Megan Elizabeth Denny. Katerina Marie DeSantis. Regan Kylene DeSarmo. Ashlyn Louise Deverett. At this time, graduates' names will be read by Class Vice President Spencer Limcaco.
Autumn Marie Dickens. April Joy Dillingham. Camden Renee Dinkle. Shelby Faith Marie Downey. Abigail Lauren Drake. Max Alexander Drake. Olivia Rayshawn Duncan. Peyton Anthony Dwyer. Jonathan Kyle Eads. Kaylee Ann Eddy. Nathan Allen Egan. Madeline Nicole Ellingsworth. Jacob Eric Michael Ute. Caroline Alice Fairbanks. Sean Gregory Ferris. Ataylee Jacqueline Feisey. Casey Sean Ferris. Jonathan Avery Finn. Bradley Harmon Fleener. Sydney Leanne Flowers. Anquinice Lachey Floyd. Sarah Elizabeth Forsyth. Anthony Michael Foster. Francisco Javier Franco Jr. Austin Glenn Fulford. Jocelyn Roberta Fuller. Erica Lee Funkhauser. Blaze Thomas Galbraith. Isabel Elise Garcia. Jennifer Natalia Garcia Israel. Randall James Garrett. Adam Michael Gontrowski. Brooks Charles Guttrell. Courtney Lynn Gilbert. Tabitha Marie Gilbert. Caden Christopher Janopoulos. Desiree Storm Givens. Elaine Annette Goff. Adara Jolynn Grady. Virginia Ann Graff. Anastasia Marie Graham. Ethan James Grant. Shane Richard Gray. Ethan James Grayless. Lindsay Marie Griever. Kensington Leigh Green. Shelby Sue Green. Hunter Ford Greenwell. Abby Lynn Grimm. Peyton James Gooley. Selena Leanne Gooley. Jackson Burnham Guptill. Zachary Alexander Gerchek. Noah William Gwynn. Abigail Marie Hare. Madeline Grace Halls. Camden McGuire Harden. Gabrielle Renee Harlow. Max Jeffrey Harpole. Stella Marie Hart. Sydney Marie Hayes. Stephanie Nicole Haney. Braden Michael Keaton. Taylor Alexandria Henning. Teresa Marie Henry. Kella Johanna Herrera. Avery Edmund Heron. Elijah Allen Edward Higgins. Kylie Marianne Higgins. Kylie Renee Hyam. Ian Walter Himes. Jordan Elizabeth Orr. Cody Gabriel Howard. Dylan Preston Huey. Joshua Floyd Humphrey. Bryce O'Neill Hunt. Gavin Pence Hunt. Nevaeh Angelique Hearns. Parker Ray Hudson. And Santiago Pierce Emeroni. At this time, graduates' names will be read by Class Secretary Jeffrey Best.
Marina Hasig Isaiah, Benjamin Thomas Jager, Michael Avery James II, Danielle Marie Johnson, Lauren Noel Johnson, Shadiman Renice Johnson, John Stanford Jones II, Derek Laverne Joy, Cassidy Nicole Judson, Tyler Joseph Kane, Kalea Brooke Kaparak, Lauren Elizabeth Keith, Landon Brian Kelly, Caleb Mitchell Kemper, Caitlin Renee Kennedy, Gary Russell Keys, Caitlin Grace King, Tyran Sinton King, Anna Marie Kravitz, Jasmine Lee Kirsch, Emma Dolores Land, Camry Paige Leah Large, Ella Marie Lutzenheiser, John Andrew Lawrence, Roy William Busader, Gabrielle Lynn Lindsay, Dominic Oakley Long, Rhiannon Nicole Long, Kadoku Renell Hussein, Edward Joseph Maluli, Gage Arlen Rowan Manning, Cameron Cheyenne Marlowe, Ross Walter Mason, Justin Cole Mattingly, Ethan Alexander May, James Frederick McBride, Alexandria Ann McAllister, Kyle Levi McCullough, Gage Edward McGee, Gordon Michael McCain, Carly Shay McKilla, Jacob Trenton McKinney, Mason James Rashawn, Jonathan Lee Michaels, Caitlin Amalia Marie Miller, Nicholas Ethan Scott Milner, Josie Reva Minton, Shay Miranda Maloney, Austin Michael Moody, Grant Michael Morrison, Hunter Stephen Morrison, Jesse Lynn Morrison, Alexander Reed Morton, Matthew Thomas Moyer, Madison Brooke Mullen, Katie Elaine Myers, Austin Brandon Nasser, Gunnar Michael Neese, Ruby Jane Nelson, Madison Relin Newman, Brooklyn Dawn Orndorff, Chase Edward Orndorff, David Edward Overton, Robert Lee Owen II, China Michael Michelle Owens, Anna Joy Paw, Devin Alexander Pizzera, Cheyenne Renee Pence, Jackson Parker Pence, Corey Ray Peters, Casey Allen Peters, Abram Foster Pease, Monica Poloni, Amy Rose Tequila Pittman. Andre George Ponza. Emil Noah Ponza. Kansas Rose Price. Caleb Duane Purdy. Erica Dawn Pusey. Cameron Lee Jean Quigley. Jace Michael Robert Quigley. At this time, graduates' names will be read by class treasurer Trevor Lay.
Alexandra Marie Ray. Logan Eli Rees. Sarah Jolie Willetta Richards. Ryan Laydell Richardson. Ruben Debs Ryderleg. Joshua Rixner. Stephen Marcos Rodriguez. Madison Bailey Ross. Skyleen Monique Ross. Desiree Marie Santos. Allie Ray Marie Cecita. Emma Marie Saunders. Caleb Andrew Skank. Margaret Marie Shearer. Darcy Jane Schock. Mackenzie Noel Shropshire. Jonah Michael Sills. Samuel Frederick Bryant Sinclair. Renee Elizabeth Siverson. Kennedy Sue Sladek. Samantha Marie Slavin. Austin Joe Smith. Haley Brianne Smock. Macy Renee Snap. Marissa Sky Snyder. Tyler Dean Solers. Tyler Lee Summer. Julia Grace Sontag. Colin Reese Southard. Faith Sue Dawn Southard. Lily Ann Southard. Skylar Rose Spears. Madeline Elizabeth Spitler. Spencer James Stewart. Gwendolyn Marie Stewart. Austin Cooper Stump. Dalton Lucas Sturm. Prentice Keith Suggs. Skyla Brianne Swaim. Lauren Isabel Target. Travis Marquise Wayne Taylor. Jessica Elizabeth Terrell. Devin Trey Thompson. Sasha Elizabeth Thompson. Claire Elizabeth Thrift. Christian Ever Throckmorton. Cecilia Robin Tonetti. Hallie Nicole Townsend. Tyler James Trainer. Kylie Ann Tremaine. Mason Trierweiler. Tiana Alexandria Troxel. Elizabeth Renee Tucker. Brianna Lynn Tyler. Ivan Michael Underwood. Caitlin E. Underwood. Mason Rocker Unger. Karen Elise Waldwieser. Taylor May Weaker. Brandon Dylan Wessel. George Stephen West. Michael Ellie West. Lindsay Shay White. Sarah Elizabeth White. Jared Paul Williams. Bailey Elizabeth Wilson. Caitlin K. Weininger. Brianna Sue Weiser. Devin Jacob Wood. Caitlin Marie Woods. Hunter Zachary Woods. Abigail Mary Worley. Sierra Lynn Worthen. Abigail Grace Wright. Elizabeth Jane Wright. Ethan Jacob Wright. Jonathan Michael Wyrick. Noah Christopher Young. Lauren Christine Zed. Tavion Levante Zulkafil.
At this time, please join me in honoring the deserving members of the class of 2020. I ask that you turn to the special presentation portion of your program. The first of our presentation is the Timothy M. Sullivan Award. With us today is Mrs. Nancy Sullivan Vance, mother of Timothy. Mrs. Sullivan, please meet Mr. Joseph on the stage. Timothy M. Sullivan was an outstanding young athlete at North who was a scholar, a leader, and an example for others to follow. In October of 1977 at a cross-country meet, Tim was giving his all when he collapsed and died on the course. Through the efforts of the entire community, a memorial fund was created almost overnight. From this fund, the memorial plaque was purchased. The recipient is determined by a committee selected by the principal and his committee, and is a young man or woman who best exemplifies the attributes of Timothy Sullivan. At this time, we would like this year's recipient to join Mr. Joseph on the stage for the presentation. From the class of 2020, the student athlete chosen to receive the Timothy M. Sullivan Award is Peter Christ. Congratulations, Peter. Carl S. Riddle Scholars are recognized annually for achievements in scholarship, leadership, and school spirit. The committee nominates 3 male and 3 female applicants for the scholarships to the Carl S. Riddle Trust Fund Committee for the selection of the recipient. With us today to present this award is Mr. Riddle's daughter and granddaughter, Mrs. Carla Henry and Mrs. Kirsten Morse. Ms. Henry and Ms. Morse, please join Mr. Joseph on the stage to present these awards. The Riddle Trust Fund was established in 1987 to honor Terre Haute North's first principal, who served from 1972 until his retirement in 1987. The fund annually awards scholarships in Mr. Riddle's name to perpetuate his deep devotion to students, with emphasis on individual achievement and dedication to Terre Haute North. We ask the class of 2020 Carl S. Riddle Scholars to please come forward. female recipient, Elizabeth Wright. And our male recipient, Spencer Limcaco. Congratulations, Elizabeth and Spencer. At this time, will Senior Class President Nicholas Duncan please come forward to close out our ceremony?
Good morning, parents, guardians, relatives, faculty, and of course, the class of 2020. Thank you all for coming out here today to celebrate our graduation. My name is Nick Duncan, and it is my great honor to serve as the president of the Terre Haute North class of 2020. It amazes me to see that we are already graduating. It feels like just yesterday that we were freshmen walking into orientation, nervous as can be. As a class, we have shared so much together during our high school journey. Pep rallies, homecomings, Spirit Week, volunteering, and much, much more. I hope that we can look back years from now at our time in high school and remember it fondly. I know as I look out at each one of you